Any chance I can hold it? What's the value of this? 35 grand right there. Wow.
Risky in real life.
I haven't been a miner for 15 years. You know what that
That's
is,
a
right?
tiny one.
Wow,
That's
tiny.
just a little sluice box.
Perfect for your property, though.
Yeah.
Gold cube, what's going on here?
Gold cube. Cube it or lose it.
Yeah, cube it or lose it. Is that? Oh, that's your slogan. Look at
Yeah.
that.
How about that? Huh? Here, 1,000 pounds an hour. You see that? So we get that underneath the water. As soon as it comes underneath that U-turn, it goes into a low pressure zone in front of the mast. That's $2,000 worth of gold in the very first, in that very first section right there.
Wow.
The next tray down only had $10 worth of gold.
Okay.
And the
Wow.
last tray only had a nickel. Yeah, most of the other devices out there will actually take and where you add the dirt to the water,
Yeah.
the gold sits on top and you lose it. And we don't like catch and release.
I see something that kind of caught my eye and I thought it was really interesting. I think you know what I'm talking about. Look at that. Wow. Now, is that a AT-AT?
It is an AT-AT. It is crocheted by that lady right over there. And it goes for, she's got it on special for this one for 200.
200. This, now, I'll be admittedly honest, I don't know that much about crochet, but I will say this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. They're called cut-off crafts. They got a QR code, so I'm going to put that right in the corner of the screen, and you can get yourself some really cool stuff. It's pretty awesome.
My kids and my wife says they look pretty good, you should sell them. So I kept a dozen and I started making it. I've made about 330 of them so far.
They look awesome. I like the gun too.
Thank you.
That's what I sold this morning.
Beautiful. Working with leather.
Well, it was something I always wanted to do, and I never allowed myself because it's an expensive hobby. And then 5 years ago, I got a cancer diagnosis and decided now's the time.
Yeah. Wow.
And now I do it full time for a living. I sew all the hats. The patches are sewed on with a 100-year-old Truttle sewing machine.
Okay, I'm gonna get a hat from you. Okay.
What we're trying to do is get rid of staring down in this gold pan and tapping the gold over to the side, snuffering that up. Then you end up with a vial with black speckles in it like this. So I go right over the top of everything. If it disrupts the gold only moves a little bit and sticks back in another groove. This is the magnetized black sand. It's underwater. I go over there, I let go of the squeeze, and it acts like a little vacuum cleaner and sucks all that gold up. Well, black sand out. You see the sand rolling off. See how the gold just sticks there? Now it locks up a little bit. We'll just stir that out a little bit.
Here's some stuff I find. Not through these, but this is some of the.
Wow, look at all that.
I'm a dredger.
Okay.
And so I dredge.
So
Fly underwater, sucking up.
oh, okay, yeah, that's the what dredging is.
Yeah, this is some of this.
Wow, look at that. And this is something that you literally pulled from the earth,
Yes.
right? Wow.
First one to ever see it and touch it.
Yeah. Never even thought about this type of stuff. But look at this. Wow, beautiful.
Here, you wanna
Now that it's all cleaned out,
let you feel it.
Wow. Oh, it is like they say, it's heavy. Yeah. What do you think the value of that is?
About 3 grand.
3 grand right here. Look at that. And man, that must have been a cool day when you found it,
I
right?
wet my wetsuit.
He wet his wetsuit.
For camera's sake, I'll just say wet.
I like it. Don't take this the wrong way, but you do look like a prospector, I would
Hey,
say.
there you go. I keep telling my wife, you know, I got to have the beard to make the part. You know?
Right? A little bit away from the light. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. What'd you get, Gonzo?
It's like a hybrid between the carpet and the pan.
If you remember the last episode I did with Gonzo, we were in his property and there's a creek all the way at the bottom that I didn't make it down to. But if we're gonna look for some gold, I'll make it down there with you, bro. I get 40% of what I find.
Hell no. If you find gold?
Yeah, if I find gold, I get 40%.
I guess so.
Oh,
If he finds it.
The neatest thing I've ever found was a 1952 class graduation ring from from Annapolis.
oh wow.
And I got it. I contacted the guy after the first of the year. I found it in October or November, and I just got busy and stuff, and I never got a hold of Annapolis and the Alumni Association, and they said yes, his name was in the ring. And so I called him and told him the name, and they said we will contact him. He's an active member of the Alumni Association. So I get a call in about 3 weeks from him, and he says, I understand you found my ring. And I says, yes. And he says, man, he says, thank you. And then he kind of broke down, and he says, I got to tell you the story. He says, I lost that ring in the summer, July or August. My wife came down with aggressive cancer, and he said she fought it until December, and he said that her last 3 days of life were in the hospital in a coma. And he said the day she passed away, he said, I went into the room just to hold her hand, and he said she sat up in bed and she said, Bob, you're going to get your ring back. He said those were her last words. I can hardly tell the story. Yeah. You want to put your wing in. So we met, and he just couldn't thank me enough and stuff. He said this. He said, here's the story. He said, I graduated in 52, and he said, I got that ring. And we were married in 52, and she had one made exactly the same. And those were our wedding rings because we couldn't afford both. And he said we have worn those ever since. And this was, I don't know, 2000, somewhere's in there. You know, it's 15, 20 years ago when I found it.
The most incredible thing about that whole thing, I mean, there's so much, but that you found it, you know what I mean? A lot of people be like, oh, what cool ring, keep it, it goes into a drawer.
Right.
But you did that extra step, man, and you found that, you brought somebody's, like, so much joy. Man, I'm so glad I asked you that question.
Yeah, and it's fun to tell, and I guess it shows there's more than we think working.
Iron pyrite looks like gold.
Yeah, that's what they call fool's gold, right?
Yeah.
That's what real gold, ladies and gentlemen, that's what real gold looks like.
Dang right.
So don't be fooled. Get yourself an electron microscope.
If you look really careful, you can see the black sands coming up that cone into the bucket.
Yeah.
So see how it's all coming in?
Liberty Miners Rally. Guys, you can check this out, August 25th through 27th. And you found all these?
Yep.
Wow.
Except that one. I didn't find that one or that one. Or that one. My kid that works for me in my normal business was dredging on my claim and found that in the creek. Well, you didn't even get to hold it. Come on.
Oh.
Like 35 grand. That's Toyota Rava right there.
That's the price of our land. Any chance I could hold it?
Sure you can. Sure.
Wow, and it is, this is, so what's the value of this?
35 grand.
35 grand right there. You know what I mean? Wow. Damn, I've never held this much gold.
Very, very few people have.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's a museum specimen.
Look at this beautiful piece of gold, guys. If you guys don't like and subscribe just for this, I don't know what to tell you. Look at that, wow. Thank you for letting me hold that, man. I really appreciate it. Our little lavender company.
How are you doing today?
How are you? Where are you guys from?
Outside of Colville.
Outside Colville? Okay. You guys make lavenders and stuff?
We raise lavender, distill it, and make it out.
Oh, you make it and distill it? Wow.
Every bit of it.
Bath bomb set. I will buy this.
Basically, it's like making a cake.
Okay.
So you're going to take all of the ingredients that are involved in it. There's everything from baking soda to citric acid to a few other things that are involved in it. Lavender oil is put into it, and you combine it, and it goes through a press. It's an old school press that packs it in so that it stays tight. You drop it into the water, you're good to go.
Beautiful. That was a great presentation.
Oh,
man,
way too kind.
Steve Jobs over here. All right, so I'm gonna give this to one of you guys, my subscribers. So, and this is our little lavender company. So check them out. They're out of Colville. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Risky in real life.